Data logger settings for Windows Mobile 6.5. The session objectives. Configure your data logger for optimal data collection. Then be familiar with the reset. Also know the steps that you need to do if you want to swap out batteries. Okay, optimizing Windows 6.5. Couple things that you're going to want to do. First thing, you're going to want to set the correct date and the time zone and the time. Okay, turn off your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth if they're not needed. Also, with the there's an option where you can have a 3.5G SIM card. If you're not using the phone, turn the phone off as well. Check the battery level, make sure that it's good. You're going to stop any unneeded running programs. Align the screen for your personal touch, and then also know how to swap out batteries. So these are the steps we're going to go through. First one is the date and time. I'm going to run through these slides first and talk a little bit about this, and then we're going to optimize them together. So the date, time, and zone are important, especially the time zone. Now when you link up to the GPS, your time will actually update. If you set it to sync to the current time zone, it will update for you, but it's good to go ahead and start off the bat making sure that everything is set up correctly. And then the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Now these take batteries. This takes up battery if you're not using it. Even if it's turned on and you're not using it, it's still going to suck some battery. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how you can slide over to get to the management, the wireless manager, and then you can go in and turn things on or off as needed. Now obviously if you're using like a laser or something that uses Bluetooth, you're going to leave it on. But if you're not using anything, you can turn off what you're not using. The battery level. I'll show you how you can go and tap up at the top, and then a little drop down comes down, and that's where you can control your battery, your volume, several different things. So we'll go over that as well. We'll stop all running programs. Now one thing that's unique for Windows, for the Windows Mobile software, unlike computers, whenever you hit that X in the right hand corner, the applications don't always stop. They'll just kind of run in the background. So we're going to go in and stop all running programs that we're not using. Then we're going to align the screen for your personal touch. Two different ways to get to that, and I'll show you how to do those. And what aligning the screen does is, if you're dealing with ArcPAD, you have little tiny drop downs that you have to tap in. If you don't align the screen for how you tap on the screen, if you go and tap on the drop down, sometimes like the button next to what you're trying to tap on will actually be selected on the screen. A guy I work with, when I go and tap on something, if he's aligned it, it always does the next button over. Our taps are totally different. And then I'll show you how you can swap out batteries if you get out in the field, you have extra batteries, and you work really long days, and your battery's low and you want to swap it out. I'll show you the proper steps. All right, so let's go ahead and optimize Windows Mobile 6.5. So this right here is the Geo. First thing that we're going to do is, let me get to where you can actually see what I'm doing right here. So this is the Geo right here. Okay, I just have it up on the screen so you don't have to come and look at my little computer screen. What's different about this now is it's kind of like the new smartphones, where if you take your stylus and you tap, I don't know if you saw, like you can actually tap and like move things. They can kind of fly by. So if you scroll up, things will scroll up. You can scroll down, things will scroll down. So you can come up to the GNSS application launcher, take your stylus and slide over. You'll get the wireless manager, slide over again. You get the system information, slide over again. There's the GNSS application launcher again. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go and set the date and time. So on here, do you see anything that looks like the time? Yes. So if you just take your stylus, you can scroll down, scroll down to the time, and then once you have the time right here, tap in it. This brings up the alarm. Up at the top, you notice where there's time, right up here. You can go ahead and tap on time. Then you're going to set your time zone. We are in the Eastern. Today's date is 9/1/11, and the time 10:20. All right, once you have all this done, if you notice right here, sync to current time zone, that will sync to the current time zone, which is good, and then notify me when time is updated. I have both of those checked. Once you have this and you say OK, if you've changed the time, it'll say, hey, are you sure you want to change it? Go ahead and say yes on that error. So we've changed the time. All right. Let's just go back up here. So this is what we're doing. Once we've changed the time, we can now go in and turn off the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth if we're not using it. If we go back up to the GOXH GNSS inactive is what it's saying. If you go back up to the Geo just by taking your stylus and just scrolling down until you're over it, then we can actually scroll over, oops, that's one time too many, to get to the wireless manager. Once you're on the wireless manager, tap on that. Wireless manager comes open. If you notice, the way I'm hooking this up is through a Wi-Fi connection. So I have my Wi-Fi on. If I wanted to turn my Bluetooth on, just tap on your Bluetooth bar. It comes on. If you want to toggle something off, tap on it. I'll use my mouse so you can see what I'm clicking. And it'll toggle off. Same thing with the phone. Tap on the phone if you wanted to use your SIM card to get, like on the VRS or anything. Tap on it to toggle it off. So if I wanted to turn this off, I could tap on it and it would toggle off and then my image would disappear off the screen. So I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close on out of this. All right, now we're going to check the battery level. Up at the very top up here, we have some icons. This right here is your Wi-Fi. This is your cell phone, volume, battery, and time. If you just click up here, a little drop down comes out and you have some information right here of what all is going on. Like here's your volume. If you want your volume, you can tap on that. You get your volume information. Here's the battery. Tap on the battery. Make sure it's charged for you to go out during the day. One thing over here, if you go to advanced, this is where you can say whether or not you want the screen to turn off if not using it after so many minutes. Some people complain that they're out in the field and the screen's constantly going blank. It's really not turning off. The screen is basically just dimming. The screen is turning off, your GPS receiver is not turning off. And it's just to save battery. I normally keep mine up to 5 minutes. You just tap the drop down and change it if you'd like to. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say OK on this one. That's the battery level. Now, to stop any unneeded running programs, we're going to go down to the Start, Settings, System, and now if we scroll down, it's much easier to do on here, we have Task Manager right here. This will show what all we have going on. Like I mentioned earlier, if you start up a program and you X out of it, it doesn't always X out. Like I had no idea File Explorer was running. I could click on File Explorer and say End Task. If I wanted to end all tasks, I could say Menu, End All Tasks. I'm not going to because I'm using the some of this stuff so you can see what's going on here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit X on here. All right. Okay, so this is all the setting information right here. Okay, you have some other stuff. Your backlight is here, your contrast is here, your memory, a couple other useful things. What is down here as well is if you scroll back down to the bottom, you see where it says Screen. This screen will align the screen for your personal touch. Let's go ahead and select this. Now if we say Align Screen, we can go through and align the screen for a personal touch. Now, a lot of people do this sitting down inside. Whenever you get outside, are you sitting down? No. So I generally say, go ahead and stand up and hold it like you would while you're collecting data to align the screen. So go ahead and select Align Screen. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your stylus and tap firmly just for 1 second and release over this X. And then it's going to bounce up to the upper left. Take your time and go exactly in the center of the X. This is really important. Then once you've gone around, it comes back to the screen and it's now aligned for your personal touch. So I can go ahead and say OK. All right, another way that you can get to this screen is if you take this little power button and hold it down for a couple seconds, then you get another menu that pops up. There's backlight settings, swap battery, shutdown, reset. Very bottom of the screen right here, this is your align screen. So if you tap on this, you can also get to the align screen this way. Okay. So now we've gone through all of these except for swap battery. Let me go ahead and hold this power button down again to get this menu. There's your swap battery. So if you want to swap battery, tap on, close out of all of your applications that you want, hit that swap battery, pinch, pull it out, put it back in. Now on here, I actually normally take my little stylus edge and kind of get in there, you know, take something to make sure that the batteries go out all the way. I've seen some where they don't go out all the way, so just make sure that it's firmly locked in position. You should hear it click. So that's how you can swap batteries. All right. So often, not often, occasionally, I will go out in the field and the receiver is just acting a little funky. You know, the software is running, the software is acting funky, something's just happening. If that happens, the first thing I do, I close out of whatever I can, and then I hold down the power button until I get this menu, and then I say reset. That is the same as restarting your computer. You know how whenever your computer gets kind of a little slow and stuff, you just restart and it kind of clears out the memory for you. You don't lose any running, you don't lose any programs, any data. It just restarts your GPS device for you. So when problems arise, reset. Okay. So the session objectives recap. So configure your data logger for optimal data collection. That is, set in the correct time zone, time and date. Turn off your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and your phone if not needed. Check your battery level, make sure you have enough battery to go out in the field for the day. Stop any unneeded running programs. Align the screen, and then also know how to swap out batteries. And then if anything happens, just do a soft reset and that should get you up and running then.